when I looked at the score, I see it was 19-20. Perfect play call. We're gonna get this. We're gonna make it happen. Just came up short.
What happened on that, Lamar? It was tough for us to say it was quick. Was your throw a little wide? Did you expect him to keep running, or how did you guys not execute on that one?
Just ain't execute. We wasn't on the same page right now. So just a little mishap.
Did you like the decision to go for 2?
Yeah, it was cool. So I want to win.
So hey, if you don't know me, my name is Marquise. I do Black Quarterback Series where we break down black quarterbacks all the time. Black quarterbacks is our main goal, but the NFL is our primary goal, or anything else that I've seen this week. So before we get started, I want to throw some honorable mentions out here. Shout out to Shadur Sanders. I still don't know his name right. Shout out to Jackson State for winning their conference. And I'm not sure how HBCUs do it, but contending for whatever you guys' version of a national championship is. I'm very ignorant to you guys' format, so forgive me. But shout out to y'all for winning, and continued success for Dion and his son there. Another major shout out. We shouting out Bryce Young. Spectacular SEC championship game. It was really never close. He played lights out. And shout out to him for that. Probably by the time this is out, he'll be a clear-cut favorite to be Heisman Trophy winner. I haven't seen anybody else play, so like I said, forgive me, I'm ignorant to college sports. But I want to give those two a shout out because we started the season talking about them. So let's get into the guys who get paid more to play, because they get paid as well now, legally. So I talked about Dallas Cowboys Thursday night. So I'm leaving a link up there to that video because we talked about them a little in depth. Just a little synopsis of Dallas. They played down to their competition as usual. Couldn't run the ball. Really only the big offense that they really had was Tony Pollard's big run in the third quarter. Didn't really have any offense to speak of. Dak has been off the last month. I'm not sure what's going on with him. He was 32 for 47, 375 yards and 2 touchdowns, which really didn't amount to anything. So yeah, if you want more in depth on that game, here's the numbers to Dak, and the link is at the top. So another game that I reacted to as soon as it happened was Lamar Jackson. Now Lamar Jackson's review is also up here. I did a small video about that one as well. But I'm going to go a little more in depth into his game right now. So, Lamar Jackson was 23 for 37, 253 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with Lamar. I think he's still sick because he just hasn't looked like himself. Now, it might be he's trying to force it because he knows the injuries on his team, so he's suffering from the Russell Wilson syndrome, or defenses are figuring him out. I don't think that's the case because he was excellent at the beginning of the season, or he's hurt. And I think it's a variation of everything. I think he's a little dinged up, which everybody is at this point in the season, but I think he's a little dinged up, and I think he's forcing it. This season. I think he's been forcing it for a while because of all the injuries. And he, like, one of the throws I saw earlier Sunday, he made, and I'm like, Lamar, you don't have to make every play. It was on the interception. You can just tell it was one of those, I gotta make this play, Lamar, you don't have to make every play, man. You don't have to make every play. So excellent defense all game. Just got word today that Marlon Humphreys is going to be out the rest of the season. So that just adds more thinness to the roster at the cornerback position. Both starting corners are out. Marcus Peters got out earlier this season, and Marlon Humphreys is gone for the rest of the season. So they're super thin at corner now. And I probably have talked more about this in the video I'm going to record tomorrow. Today is Monday. The video I'm going to record tomorrow is going to be about, I'm sure I'll link that at the top as well. The video I'm going to be talking about is what does the New England's win mean for the Ravens and what that means for the whole AFC. Because if you look at the Ravens' schedule, their back half of their schedule is extremely rough. I got this screenshot from First Things First on Fox Sports TV. All credit for this photo goes to them. So if you look at the back end of the schedule, it's really rough. So if I knew this going into this game, I would have had them kick the field goal. But I didn't go into this game knowing that. I just went into it thinking they had a good, decent lead, and they would have been at the top of the AFC and everything. But that ain't the way it shook out. So looking back at how everything shook out, now that they're probably third now because they're 8-4. They're 8-4 now. So we'll see what happens. But back to this game, because I got on a tangent. Back to this game, they had no offense up until the fourth quarter. No offense whatsoever. The offense was so stagnant. They were able to run the ball, but it's just they couldn't get in the end zone. And so they finally get into the end zone. And then Ben Roethlisberger just decides to turn back the hands of time and be perfect in the fourth quarter. Lamar tries to be perfect in the fourth quarter, gets the ball all the way down to the goal line. They score a touchdown, and they go for it for the game. And he comes this close to winning. If the ball would have been a little bit better, but Mark Andrews had his hand on it. So me personally, I think Mark Andrews should have made the play on it. Everybody's wrong in this situation, but I really think Mark Andrews could have made the play on the ball. But it happens. Lamar talked about it, saying he wants to win, which I get the call. I completely understand the call. Mike Tomlin said that they're predictable. Which that was a shot, it's the AFC North football. So yeah, a really bad day for Lamar, and it's been bad days for a while. I think he's hurt, and I think he's depressing. So, but when everybody's hurt on your team, what can you do? And you're fighting for a new contract. I hate to say it, but this is probably affecting him around contract time. So more will be. If you want to hear me talk about more about how the seating and everything affects it, just check the video out that I left at the top, and it goes more in depth about that. So moving on to our other guy, Kansas City. So very bad offensive game. I didn't get a chance to write it down, but the score, I think, was like 22-9 or like 22-10. It was a weird score, but wasn't very much offense. Mahomes was 15 for 29, 184 yards and interception. Not much offense at all, and it felt like it was much offense at all. These primetime games haven't been light shows like we thought they would be. Teddy Bridgewater was 22 for 40, 257 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions, and he could have not played worse. He could have not played worse than he played. I thought he was playing very benchable today. And you might say, what is he working with when his top receivers is hurt? But you got to play better than that. That game was there for the taking, and y'all can never take it. Y'all defense played well. They stopped Kansas City on multiple occasions, but you guys just couldn't pull it out. Y'all couldn't pull it out. Now, granted, I didn't think Denver was going to do anything, but I really expect the Kansas City to play better than this. So Kansas City did what they had to do, and Kansas City's defense is just phenomenal now. I don't know what happened between earlier in the season and now, but their defense is like middle of the road, high teens in a lot of categories. Which you might be like, Keith, why is that so good? That's just either bottom half or average. We're going from an awful defense to an average defense, and this average defense is playing above themselves right now. So you got to take the good with the bad, because the way they were playing early in the season is like night and day from what they're playing now in the season. So good showing by KC defensively. It started off as a light show. I think they got off to a 10-point lead. It started off as a light show, and it just immediately came to a halt. So Kansas City's gonna have to figure that out, because that's not gonna work against New England. New England beats them with this type of game. The Ravens probably beats them with this type of game, but they could probably score on the Ravens. And the other couple teams at the top of the AFC. So it's gonna be a dogfight at the top of the AFC to see who comes out on top of that. It's gonna be really, really interesting. So subpar night for both guys. So subpar night for both guys. And so a couple more injury updates and honorable mentions. Cam Newton was on a bye week. Jalen Hurts was out with an injury. I think it was an ankle. I'll put it up on the screen so you guys know. And Tyrod Taylor was benched. I'm not necessarily sure as to why he was benched. I'm assuming that he was benched because of poor play, because when I went to go look at the highlights, they didn't have any points. So, and this is Houston, Texas. I wish he was in a better situation. If the Saints don't re-sign our guy Jameis, they need to go see what Tyrod Taylor can do. That's just my thing. If they're not gonna draft a young guy. So those are the injury updates and bye weeks and all that good stuff. So Kyler Murray's back finally. And he got back to his MVP form. 11 for 15, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. But they were a lot more run oriented. But you can do pretty much whatever you want to against the Bears right now. James Conner rushed for 20 yards, 75 yards. The final score was 33-22 Cardinals, but it never felt that close. Even when the Bears got close, he was like, they're not gonna win this game. And the Bears played good defense. Excuse me. The Bears played good defense. They got some critical stops. It wasn't all that bad for the Bears defensively, but when your quarterback throws 4 interceptions, this is what happens. The Bears are a mess. The Bears are just an utter mess. They're an utter mess. I'm ready for them to go ahead and start over and build with Justin Fields. So yeah, Kyler came back. Like I said, got back to doing what he knew best. He would be the MVP if he had played all season. Had a pass to D-Hop, who was also coming back off injury and got back to his reform. So good showing for all the guys to come back and get healthy and getting ready for the season at hand. And so our last game, which was probably the best game of the week, was the 49ers against the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson played like Russell Wilson yesterday. He made the passes. Now granted, he did throw an interception. But funny enough, the interception was actually good because the interception actually led to a safety, which tied the game, which ended up being one of the critical points in the game because they ended up only winning by 7. So it was a bad interception, but it ended up being a good interception, so it all evened out. You know what I mean? Russ was 30 for 37, 2 touchdowns and an interception. But the only problem with the way Russ played is they left they had 2 red zone turnovers. Now, granted, I don't think either were Russ's fault, but as a team, you can't have 2 red zone turnovers because both of those could have led to 3 points, which have been 6 points, which means they end up winning either way. You know, so they have to be better. They have to be better. AP. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm looking at my notes here. AP tied Jim Brown for 10th all time on the rushing yard scale, on the rushing yard list. Yes, AP is still in the league, and he's probably going to end up playing for every team eventually. Shout out to my boy Terrell. He's a huge AP fan, and yeah, he's gonna play for every team, bro. So, I liked what I saw from Russ. He looks healthy. He looks like Russ now. Now, granted, it's probably too late in the season to make a surge because it's whoever gets the wild card, whether it's Cam or Heineke or Russ or what's the other guy name? Kirk Cousins. Whoever it is out of these guys that gets the wild card, they're gonna get absolutely blasted by the Rams. So I don't even think it matters who gets the wild card, but you put yourself there. The Eagles, Jalen Hurts, which I think they might be able to upset the Rams. But yeah, so yeah, that's really all I got for you guys. Very short week, very short week. We're gonna get back to the madness next week. I think everybody's going to play, and that's really all I got for y'all.